What is up, bros? Josh here, and welcome to Chapter 3, Episode 2 of our Road to Tier 10 series. Our series, we go over every line in World of Warships, go from the lowest tier all the way to the highest tier. First of all, see which line can do it the fastest, and then break down whatever we learn in between to see if anything surprises us or if anything kind of shocks us as we're going through. And in today's video, we are going through the mid-tiers of the Russian destroyer line. This is the line that we're currently grinding, and we're basically almost done. So, the middle tiers, 6 and the 7, the Gnevny and the Minsk, the 6 and the 7 for the Russian destroyer line. These are the destroyers that I thought I was going to have a really tough time in, and whenever I go into one of these new lines, I kind of highlight the spots where I think the line will be pretty weak or I will have trouble getting through, and then we play them and we either we were correct or we were wrong. And in the earlier tiers, the low tiers are extremely good, kind of bully DDs. We got to the tier 5, the Podovsky, in the latest episode. We talked about how that really surprised us about being this really tier 5 Khabarovsk and just kind of destroying cruisers and really kind of picking on other DDs even with the high detection. But I thought the Gnevny and the Minsk, not known for being very strong ships, would kind of be the same style. And then, of course, I thought the higher tiers would be kind of fine. But again, totally surprised with how kind of fun and good these destroyers were. The Gnevny at tier 6, we'll go check out its stats really fast, was really surprising at kind of how much success we had in this. Tier 6, you start getting some okay matchmaking. I know a lot of people talk about maybe how they get bottom tiered a lot. We didn't really notice that, and we got through it in 16 games, almost a 70% win rate and almost 57,000 average damage. And we kind of just used the torps. Great XP, 2300 XP, average results per battle, over 2 average warships. Most we killed was 6 in one game, almost over 100,000 damage was the top we ever had. Tons of first bloods, and really kind of just using the mix between the torps. I mean, just good stats. Look at this, we went 11 and 5, so many first bloods on this as well. And what you kind of use is you use a mix of the guns and the torpedoes, using those 130s, 5-second reload, and then the torpedoes, although not very long at 4 kilometers, they are extremely fast at 70 knots. So if something is within range, they're going to be taking those torps. And that's one thing you had to do, is kind of prepare to just use mainly your guns, and then of course use the change to the AP against destroyers. And if you can, get into situations where you can just absolutely wreck with torps. Now these are something that you're not going to be able to defend an entire cap with, and aerial denial like you could with a lot of other lines. With their kind of mid-tier torps, you know, having 6, 7, 8, 9, up to 10k torps. This is something that's going to be very situational. Something that's pushing into you, into your smoke. Something is maybe hiding in smoke and not really moving that much. Or if you're pushing up against something, maybe they're charging an island or something like that, and you're holding down a corner, of course you'll wreck them there. We had a lot of success in kind of surprise torps, which these are perfect for. 70 knots is so fast, especially for tier 6 ships, tier 7 ships, not known for being extremely fast. You can go in and absolutely wreck. And overall, we had a lot of success, almost a 70% solo queue tier 6 win rate. Even when we were, and I think throughout this entire ship, we didn't even have a 10-point captain, so we didn't have concealment experts, so we had to play pretty passive. And again, how I kind of play this, my play style of these ships, just assist another DD, let that DD spot for you, or at least push in, at least follow them into the cap, just tell them you have their support, and going in and getting that first blood. We got tons of first bloods throughout this line. Tons of first bloods. I think at one point, I think we were averaging like, or I think we had like 45-50% of first bloods throughout an entire play session with this line, because we just pushed caps, and I was okay with trading a bunch of, not a bunch of life, but I was okay with trading a decent amount of life to go get that kill, because if you're a Russian DD and you can get within range, close range of another destroyer, you're going to win that fight. So the Gnevny at tier 6, although not the strongest DD, was surprisingly fun and really not quite a hurdle ship as I thought it would be. Basically, we got through this thing pretty quick. Great XP. You got to treat it more like a farmer. Use those smokes offensively and get into spots where you can just absolutely wreck, because you'll Citadel cruisers too, and you can just have a great farm session with this. And then if you have to, use those torps when something's pushing into you, or surprise them around an island. They can also be very successful. So for the tier 7, the Minsk, this is another ship I was very surprised to have a fantastic time, and that's when you kind of find out how this ship plays. I had played more games in the Leningrad than I had in the Minsk. I hadn't really played the Minsk that much, and the Leningrad basically is very, very similar, but it has longer torps. So you can kind of play it more like that hybrid style. This, we took hybrid style, we crumpled it up, we threw it out the window, and played this like an absolute Khabarovsk. What are you going to be doing with this ship? You're going to be shooting all the time, every time, and using that gunboat style. Again, we got down to 6.8. We got a 10-point captain on this. We had concealment at the time. Didn't have AFT, but we still had a 12-kilometer range. And again, the 4-kilometer torps was 70 knots. I think you get a buff to the torps that we ended up not taking. Yeah, so we added some damage, but you lost some speed. I thought that wasn't even worth it. We researched it because we had to, but we completely skipped them. We didn't even use that. Give me my 70 knots. I'll take 70 knots over a little bit more damage. But 43 knots of speed for this ship. We got down to 6.8 kilometer detection, so we could kind of get in there. And again, even when I was getting bottom tiered against 9s, I would gladly trade 3, 4, 5,000 damage to push a cap early, even more than that, maybe 10k, to push a cap early and get a kill on a DD. Did that all the time, tons of first bloods, because the guns on this ship are fantastic. Again, 5-second reload, 5 shells going out. So very, very good. The 130 millimeters is fantastic for these, tons of alpha damage, and you could just absolutely wreck. But this, I totally got rid of trying to outspot things, got rid of trying to hide and wait for opportunities. I was firing all the time, bullying cruisers, bullying everything, lighting everything on fire. The fire chance on this ship was fantastic. And really, when you treat this ship more like a gunboat, use your range, use your insane speed. Watch out for ships like the Shores, stuff that's very accurate. Some Miyoko's had some pretty good aim. Other than that, you can kind of just rain hell on teams. This is where you get that kind of Russian destroyer line, Russian destroyer play of flanking a team and get into spots where you can just absolutely wreck, annoy a team, farm them down, make them focus on you, draw them away, give your team the advantage that way, or just have a farm session, just burn them down. So many games with this ship that we had just really, really good results. We can go check out the stats really quick. For the Minsk at tier 7, this is a ship I wouldn't quite say dreaded, but was not looking forward to, and boom, 71% win rate, took us 24 games, 17-7, almost 62,000 average. So actually pretty close with the Gnevny for damage, a little higher in damage, pretty close in XP. But just comparing it to, let's say, like the Lyon, which is the French battleship, I mean, we were faster than the Lyon. So obviously DDs are going to be a tad faster for getting XP in games. But even that, if you just scroll down here, the Gnevny at 16 games, Normandy at 19, Minsk at 24, Lyon at the Lion, or like I said, is the Lyon at 30. So we're really making some quick games here for speeding up through this line. I think the Russian line, surprisingly, will be one of the fastest lines we've done so far out of the 3, and really had just a ton of success. Tier 7, obviously a fantastic tier, and really had just an amazing time. Really enjoyed the ship. I did a video, I think last week or so, a little while ago, about just how surprisingly fun this ship is. And if you haven't played this line, you can really enjoy it and get your aggro DD style on and have fun with this ship. I know it's not known for being an extremely strong ship, but boy, did I have fun playing it, and I would highly recommend going down this line and just having a good time. I was having more fun playing this ship than I think I would kind of a normal DD line, because there you're kind of waiting for situations to happen, maybe surprising a DD, waiting for your torps to hit, blah, blah, blah. This, you didn't care. Your torps were basically almost defensive in a way. This, you really just got up in their face and said, here I am, I'm going to keep firing, keep shooting, keep lighting you on fire, and doing tons and tons of damage along the way. And there were so many times where I didn't care if I was going against... in this ship, I wanted to go against like Atlanta's, because I knew I was so fast and I knew my range was pretty good compared to theirs. Their shells were so lofty, you would just see cruisers just give up. You would see cruiser players just give up playing against you, because 1, they couldn't hit you, 2, your trajectory is much lower than most cruisers, so you would just pick on them, and you would almost go hit for hit with them. Health pool wise, we were up into... we had survivability experts, so we're up maybe 18,000, I forgot, somewhere around there. And you would just pick on these players and these cruisers, and they couldn't even hit you or do little damage, and you would still, with the 130s, you would just pen their superstructures or pen their upper armor belts, and you would just win the fight. And you would see cruisers, which are supposed to be your counter, just give up and change targets or try to run away from you. And good luck running away from a Minsk that has a that wants you dead, because they'll just burn you around. So you would see that. I would again assist a DD pushing cap, get that early kill, get that advantage, and then the farm session was on. So really enjoyed this ship. Really have enjoyed this line a lot. Super surprisingly, the 3 ships that I have dreaded throughout this entire line have been kind of 3 of the most fun on this line. The Podolsky being crazy good at tier 5, being like a Kaba. Then the Gnevny was alright. I didn't quite enjoy that as much. But then you get to the Minsk, and the Minsk I had a blast on. I actually am not really looking forward to the Gnevny at tier 8 compared to this, because this is more of the Russian line, and the Gnevny is kind of this weird torp boat in a Russian body. It's more like a Japanese boat, if you will, or a Japanese torp boat. So the Gnevny I'm not super looking forward to, but the Minsk was a blast. I highly recommend it. But anyways, guys, that's the mid-tier for the Russian destroyer line. Have really enjoyed this line, and hope you guys have enjoyed watching it live on stream. We do all of our Road to Tier 10 series live on stream. You can check us out on twitch.tv/mejash. And again, when we reach tier 10, we'll pick the next line. That's up to you guys. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, what you guys think of the Russian line so far. Have you played the Gnevny? Have you played the Minsk? What do you think of them? And have your kind of results been kind of the same as mine? But anyways, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this series. It's been a ton of fun. So I hope you guys are having good games out there. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.